What is good, everybody? It's your boy Randy Anderson here with another episode of the Unofficial Referees, man. For this episode, we'll be talking about the NFL playoff picture. So I got both my brothers in the building, man. Corey was good.
What's that?
Also got Lauren in the building. Was good, man.
Hola, brother. Hola.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this. Let's talk finals, man. Let's get this final talk up and that way. Corey, I'll let you go first, or Lauren, I'll let you go first, because I know you want to speak about it. Let's go. What is this?
NFL playoff picture. Let's talk about it, man. So, uh, what a crazy day in the NFL last Sunday. You know, you had some interesting games. The end of the Falcons game was interesting because what it did was it took San Francisco back again from the number one seed all the way back down to the five seed. So they went from 1-5 by losing that game. So uh, in the NFC right now, your current playoff picture is uh, let's see here. Seattle's number one again, followed by Green Bay at number two, New Orleans at number three. Uh, we're just gonna say the NFC East at number four, San Francisco number five, Minnesota at number six. Uh, is it safe to say that San Francisco would be the most dangerous team given their seeding, or do we look at somebody else as being more dangerous just based off of the seeding right now?
Based
Because
off the
San Francisco could easily be the number one seed, and they still have an opportunity. It's a seesaw battle right now
right.
in the NFC. So I mean, San Francisco has an opportunity to jump right back up there. It's really kind of anybody's right now because you have if Minnesota beats Green Bay next week and New Orleans wins, then New Orleans becomes the number one seed. Uh, if Green Bay wins out and New Orleans stumbles, Green Bay surprisingly becomes the number one seed. Uh, and of course, like I said, San Francisco still has a shot to get the number one seed back. It's crazy to think that an 11-3 team would be a number five seed, but that's just the way the NFC is working this year.
Yeah. I will say, I think they are the scariest. I think the 49ers might be the scariest to actually overcome a lot of the battles. So yeah, that'll be my pick. That they're the scariest. Corey, what you got?
Uh, the Saints are the scariest. Saints are the scariest team. I don't think. I don't think San Francisco. San Francisco being on the five spot. No, they'll have to. They'll have that wild card. More than likely, they'll have a.
That's true.
They'll have a first round game. I mean, not more than likely they will. If they stay in this position now, a lot can happen within the next couple of weeks. But going off, what I'm saying, how the standards are now, they have to take on the NFC East winner. Because, that'll be the four seed regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the worst division leader. So, yeah, it'll be either the Cowboys or the Eagles. Those are very winnable games, but you know what I'm saying at the same time, San Francisco, the only problem they got the defense. They got the defense that shows up every week. It's just the question is the offense going to be there? Are they going to be able to generate enough offense to stay out of those tight games? You know what I'm saying? And because that's what's got all of their losses have been by one, basically one score. All three of their losses. Uh, but they can at times they can wake up, you know what I'm saying? They can be explosive, but like the offense is inconsistent. I
Okay.
do think they are I do think they're the most dangerous team as far as you know what I'm saying being complete. The Seahawks have a balanced team, but they have a lot to be desired, especially on that front line, that offensive line. Uh, and their defense isn't as stout as San Francisco. But Russell Wilson, they do have the better quarterback. They have a solid running game too. Chris Carson, you guys, uh, so, shit, the Saints, man, the Saints. It'd be between San Francisco and the Saints. I'm not too sold on Green Bay. Green Bay kind of, they kind of move at a snail's pace at times. Not too impressive, even if the last, win against the Bears. They're not putting up a lot of points on the board. Defense is playing well. They'll have to hang on to those. We want to make sure you have those top two. If they're on the road, I wouldn't put my money on them at all. Minnesota could be just as dangerous as San Francisco. Also, Minnesota. Shit, man, Kirk Cousins. How's Dalvin Cook's looking?
He's questionable. Yeah, he re-injured his shoulder, so that's a little iffy.
Do they have a times table?
No, not yet.
Yeah, basically what they're saying right now is that they won't play him to the playoffs, basically.
Okay.
Which hurts me in my fantasy, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook, man. Minnesota's got they strong team. Their weakest link probably is the quarterback position. So you can get hot his damn self. So it's all in the air. It's all in the air. You just don't know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be interesting. I personally think New Orleans got to be the favorite, though.
You think
New Orleans has to be the favorite? What are they sitting at? They're number 3.
Yes, yes,
they're number 1.
So you pretty much saying Forrest Gump is saying life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
I just don't trust the Seattle front line. Now they gotta make sure that home field advantage will give them a lot of help. That 12th man up there in Seattle, damn near unstoppable at home. Their weaknesses usually come on the road. That's it's all up in the air. And Drew Brees doesn't always play. He doesn't play as good on the road as he does at home. Mm-hmm. So you got that. You got those factors mixed in. It could be San Francisco. It could be San Francisco. Jimmy G can stay hot. They can keep doing what they doing. Keep that run game going, man. And shit, man. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to beat them. It's gonna be tough to beat those wild card teams. Whoever's in the wild card, they're gonna have momentum coming from that week off. I think that week off usually not week off, but that playing that extra week, that wild card, they got some momentum. Whereas a lot of teams, it can be good, as far as nursing your injuries and things like that. But what happens with those wild card teams is a lot of times they just come in hot. You know what I'm saying? They come in hot from last week, and they got the ball rolling, the chemistry. They got a playoff win. Chemistry's going. So, man, I wouldn't want to see neither one of those. Whether it's flip flops from San Francisco to Seattle or Minnesota. Minnesota, if anything, I would want Green Bay to be the wild card team. I think they're the weak link. I think they're the weak link outside of the.
I agree with that.
Outside of the Cowboys. Cowboys and Heat. So, man, hey, just imagine, man, if Crab Legs, man, if they would have started off hot. We talking about Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay, man. They'd be right there, man. They done routed off 4 in a row. Fucking Jameis Winston, this fool, man, puts up. It's not even funny no more, man. It's a walking punchline. Like this fool puts up 500 yards, man, with 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions every damn week.
Yeah,
right.
Throws a pick every first possession, man. That shit's hilarious, bro. Rams are out of it, man. The defending NFC champs are out of it. So yeah, we pretty
Yeah.
much know who's gonna be in it outside of what I'm saying the situation. We'll see.
So I mean, do you if you had to put your money on who's coming out the East, is it Philly or is it Dallas?
You said what?
If you had to
It's
put your money on who's coming out of the East, you going Philly or Dallas?
honestly, I would go Dallas because Philly has way too many injuries, and they really can't trust. I don't feel Carson Wentz trusts a lot of his teammates and his receiving core. Alshon Jeffries is out, Djax is out, and then Aguilar I guess has an injury as well. No, Nelson Aguilar has an injury as well. So it's just like second, third stringers. Okay, but do the team actually trust Carson Wentz? And does Carson Wentz actually trust his team? So it's just uh, Dak.
Yeah,
Dak has the
yeah,
trust of. Well, I believe Dak has the trust of his offensive line and his offensive players and stuff like that. And then still Ezekiel Elliott. They seem like they're cool still. And then they got that their backup running back who ran for like 130 something, or it was like 130 yards and then a touchdown. So it's just like Dallas has the easiest path. I would say offensively, not Philly, my opinion. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, Dallas can get hot. I think Dallas's issue is the same issue they've had all season, which is they don't have a true identity as a team. They don't know if they want to play through Zeke or if they want to play through Dak. I think as Philly's concerned, they just really don't have weapons that can stay healthy. I
mm-hmm.
mean, every wide receiver is hurt, so they're pretty much dependent on uh, the tight ends and the running backs to get the job done, and that's hard to do in the playoffs
Yeah,
because defenses can create schemes to neutralize your top tier talent, whatever your best talent is. It's kind of the same thing that you're seeing in New England, where defenses are saying, okay, we're going to stop Edelman and James White, and if you beat us with the others, then you beat us with the others. Uh, I mean, I think New Orleans needs home field advantage the most. I think they're a different team on the road. At least that's what the record says. They're a different team on the road. I think they need home field the most. I do agree with everybody's opinion and evaluation about Green Bay. I think that they're a finesse defense. So you can overpower them. So teams like Minnesota, if Cook is healthy, San Francisco, they got a three-headed
mm-hmm.
monster. It's held back. So you have teams with solid running games, and they could just bully Green Bay. You know, and I think Green Bay just may be based off of what I've seen this season. I think the other teams that we thought may be competitive, like Chicago, like the Rams, I think that they've just benefited from them having bad seasons. Otherwise, I don't know if Green Bay would be in the position that they're in right now, ahead of the NFC NFC North. And sitting in a nice position to get home field advantage, or not home field advantage, but get a first round bye. Now the AFC playoffs ended, or the playoffs started today. You've got you've got New England, you've got Baltimore, you've got Kansas City, you've got Houston. Right now, you've got Buffalo, and I think I guess Pittsburgh is still holding on to that sixth seed. Ever so tight. They still have a head-to-head matchup lead against the Titans as it stands right now. So that will be the playoffs, obviously, with the Patriots and the Ravens getting the first round bye. I think this is where we're going to see if New England is New England or if New England is no longer New England. I think you just have to you have to be in a wait and see because you can never count them out. They still have weapons. They still have Edelman, Mikael Harry. I hope I pronounced his name right. He's coming on here of late. He's actually had some really, really solid games the last 3 weeks. You still have James White, and you can never discount the offensive. I would say the the imbalance that they give you on defense because you never know if they're going to throw some type of trick play out, which is sometimes is all they need to really kind of control a game. Uh, with Josh McDaniels as the coordinator, you just kind of never know what they're going to pull out. The defense is playing on a very, very high level. I think they've shown some cracks recently where teams have figured out a way to exploit them. Uh, Kansas City is Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be a matter of if they can play as consistently as they played over the last month. They're a top, I believe a top 12 over their top 12 overall defense the last month, the last 4 weeks. So we'll kind of see if they can maintain that. If the defense can kind of maintain their momentum coupled with the offense. The offense really is predicated on number one,
Patrick Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill is predicated on Tyreek
You
Hill
right? Yeah,
being healthy.
yeah.
He changes the offense when he's not in there. And then obviously the others have to step up again. I mean, what can we say about Baltimore? Nobody has shown that they can stop them. I think the best way to stop them is to
Put that spy.
you score first because you change the nature. If you can
Okay.
get ahead of them, then you change the nature in which they call offensive plays.
Yeah, because that would
We've
force.
seen that we've seen that this season.
Yeah, because that would
You
force
know,
Lamar Jackson to be able to pass or have to pass. So
yeah, but I mean he's proven himself this year. I can't even I don't know that I can say you force them to pass and you force their hand. I don't think you can say that this year. I
mm,
think what you do, honestly, is you you allow them to get outside of the pocket, which is you would think uh, is an anomaly because of the speed of Lamar Jackson. But if you look at the season, he's gotten a lot of his uh, huge plays on the ground in between the tackles. It hasn't been outside the tackles; it's been in between the tackles.
hmm.
And so you want to actually force him to the sideline if you have the team speed to just kind of force him towards the sideline, so that the other team can kind of corral to him. That's a lot of what San Francisco did when San Francisco came up just a little bit short in their two losses. That's what you've seen. You've seen teams actually force him to the
Yeah,
sideline, and then you have to take away that tight end. That tight end is a big piece of their offense. They've got three solid tight ends. They got three solid. You got Mark Andrews. You got Hurst, and then I can't even think of the third one. Nate Boyle. That's the third one. So they've got three solid tight ends. If you can figure out how to neutralize that attack, because it's not about stopping in the playoffs. Any team can get off. This is more about neutralization. Uh,
It's like patching up one. It's like patching up one hole and start leaking at another, man.
you talking about with Baltimore?
Yeah, yeah,
They're extremely dynamic, but every team in the league is showing that they're beatable. So I'm just saying,
Ooh,
you have to play. You have to play at your max capacity in order to keep up. But I
that's
think the
true.
key with Baltimore is getting ahead because you change the way that they
you
call
do.
plays. I think
Yeah,
that's the key. Is you gotta get ahead of them from the score perspective. So if you win the toss, you probably want to take the ball in that case, just so you can get out in front of them a little bit. That way, if it gets into a tit for tat game, you've got that touchdown or field goal advantage, just kind of to start you off. Buffalo, great season, solid team. I don't think that they'll go too far in the playoffs. I mean, they can win a game. It just kind of depends on the matchup. But it'll be pretty tough because I think Buffalo is the 5 seed right now, so they would end up
yeah.
playing.
They'll have probably either the Texans or the
They'll they'll
Texans
play
or
the
the
Texans.
Titans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
Texans and
Yeah,
Titans.
no,
They'll
because
win
I
against them.
they'll be the fourth. They'll be the fourth seed unless y'all. I'm sorry, Chiefs.
oh
Unless I'm
well
sorry, Chiefs
well
go on a losing streak at the end of the year.
Houston controls the AFC South right now. They're in the
Yeah,
driver's seat. So the Titans would actually have to overtake Pittsburgh, I think, at this point,
Well,
unless
now
Houston loses both
but
games.
they're one game behind. Then they still got
That's what I'm saying. If
they
Houston,
still
if Houston, if Houston loses out, then yeah, the Titans. If Houston loses out and the Titans win out, then the Titans are in. And kind of depending on what happens with Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh still has another
yeah.
game against Cleveland, and then I forget who they play next week. Uh, so I mean, it's still very tight. You know what I'm saying? We obviously know who the division winners in. We know Buffalo's in, so it's just that 6 seed. Who gets that 6 seed? You know, if Tennessee gets in, they're gonna be a headache for anybody as long as Derrick Henry as long as he's healthy. Now Tannehill has shown that he could put up stats, but I think he needs that balance. Of Derrick Henry being able to keep the defense on their toes in order to open up the play action, for the lack of better words. I know he didn't have a good game last week, so to say. He was hurt. He's been hurt for the last three weeks now. He's actually had some hamstring issues. But you're not gonna get rest this time of the year. It's full steam ahead. So we'll just kind of have to hope that he holds up for the rest of the season. Because if he's not there, they're just a different type of offense, and I don't think they're as effective without him. They won't go anywhere without him.
Yeah, please hold up, because I need you at least 1 more week for this championship. Yeah.
What do you want to say, Corey?
Who's your favorite?
My favorite coming out of the AFC, I think the favorite has to be Baltimore. The favorite has to be Baltimore coming out of the AFC. I don't think there's much to argue with, to be 100% honest with you. I think they're the favorite coming out of the AFC. You still have to watch out for New England. In the playoffs this any given Sunday. You win the game, you advance. If you lose, you're out. I won't say that they're done until they lose. I won't say that they're done until they lose. Now, the offensive dynamic is not there. It is not there. I can't say that I am confident that they will win a game. Honestly, I'm not. I can't
they
say
can win a
confident.
game. They can win a game. They can beat
I don't know.
Buffalo or Pittsburgh or one of those teams. Tennessee. They can beat those
Well,
teams.
no, right, but I'm saying, I will see. We'll see. They play Buffalo Sunday.
They can easily.
Easy?
Yeah.
Easy?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think
it might be a close game. It might be a 19-10 game or something like that. Like that Buffalo game earlier this year, 16-10. But ain't nothing I sweat.
I wanna see what happens this Sunday before I say that, because Buffalo's playing a lot better than they had when they played the Patriots before. The Patriots the same, and they might not have Edelman. So that's a whole nother weapon gone. Because Edelman might not play. Yeah. And that'll leave him. That'll leave him with Mikael Harry. That's it.
You know who my favorite is? Want to know my favorite?
Who?
Come out the AFC.
The Chiefs.
I thought he was gonna say the Raiders. You said who?
Chiefs get it done.
The Chiefs are the Chiefs are, I think, the team that you just have to be afraid of.
They got the poster boy, man. They got the best quarterback in the league. They got the NFL's baby. You know what I'm saying? That was shown last week. You know what I'm saying? When the referees were doing that protecting. That's their baby right there, man. That's the poster boy.
Hey,
but now,
we'll take
it. They're one of the two teams that beat Baltimore this year. And I think they could do it, you know what I'm saying, again, whether on the road or at home, because Patrick Mahomes, you talk about the key to beating Baltimore is getting that early lead, and if anybody can do that, it'll be Patrick Mahomes that can take that early lead on you and make it hard. Will force, you know what I'm saying, you want to get a good lead on them. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go 7-0 and think, you know what I'm saying, you good. You know what I'm saying? Get like a good 14-0 lead on Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Force try to force Baltimore to go outside of their playbook a little, you know what I'm saying, more than often because they're too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They're too comfortable. They're able to do what they do, run their offense, you know what I'm saying, because they can control the game, which, they score pretty fast. So I believe if anybody can beat them, if anybody can beat them in the AFC, it's definitely the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're the favorite. All the defense has to do is just play just a little bit good, just tad bit good.
Okay,
And
so
y'all don't know yet. Y'all don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all. Yeah, I know y'all drinking the Kool-Aid right now. I know y'all feeling good. Y'all got y'all a few wins in a row. But I mean,
coming from
take a look at
somebody, coming
take, take,
from a Raiders
take a look
fan,
at who y'all beat, man. You know what I'm saying? We got
from a Raiders fan,
San Diego. They're San Diego.
yeah,
Now I
San
know
Diego
they're LA,
Chargers.
but they're San Diego to me. Uh, the Oakland Raiders, the Denver Broncos.
Got both them
You know what
eyes.
I'm saying? All your trash division rivals. Who was that? There was somebody else squeezed in between there that y'all beat.
What you mean?
There's somebody else squeezed in there that y'all beat too.
We beat the Patriots.
Oh
Patriots.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's when the refs gave y'all that game.
Hey.
So y'all got that against the terrible Patriots offense. 47-year-old Tom Brady and his grocery and the grocery boys. Uh, and I think y'all had about 23 points. Y'all scored all y'all points in the first quarter. Like shit. So I wouldn't get too excited, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, what we talking about though is the deep. The
Yeah.
offense is gonna do what they do. The Patriots are, of course, they got one of the best defenses in the league, but we talking about the defense. And they haven't been tested. That's what we talking about. Like I said, the grocery boys, the cart pushers in New England, they not gonna get past anybody. You know what I'm saying? You sit up there trying to throw lobs to 5'6" Julian 5'6" white boy Julian Edelman on the final play of the game. It's a complete recipe for a disaster.
Jump
Uh,
up.
There
so,
wasn't no live, man. Come on, man.
uh,
There wasn't no live.
they
Dude
ain't
didn't even
tried
have
to
to
lie,
jump to.
man.
He didn't even have to jump to knock the
Tried
ball
to
down.
man. That boy tried to get up there. What's the name? Didn't even have to try. Oh boy, Breland. Breland was
Yeah.
late to it and still got there. Get that out of here. I don't even know. I don't even know why you tried it. That ball was in the air. I knew it was due. I looked and saw who he was passing to. I said, "Oh yeah, this is game over." Chiefs won it. Boom. Oh man,
Yeah.
we don't know what the defense. Like I said, everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. Defense up there getting sacks. Everybody celebrating. They holding teams to what 9, 16, 3 points and whatnot. But it's not no. It ain't the threats. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens when like you said, you got Lamar Jackson. Your boy Tannehill, you know what I'm saying? If he gets up in there, it's not a lot of shit. Deshaun Watson, that was one of the
Yeah.
Chiefs' losses this year. He
Yeah.
carved him up. Uh, it's not as deep as the NFC and the AFC though. So that's a plus for them. Like I said, man, all they got to do is just play a tad. The offense is gonna show up. Just play a tad bit of defense, and they'll be right there at the Super Bowl. But that I think that's too much of a fairy tale, man. I can't even see it, man. Can you? I can't even see
Can,
it, man.
can I see it?
Seeing a
Yeah, of
Kansas
course.
City, seeing a Kansas City jersey
Yeah.
seeing a modern day Kansas City jersey in the final game. You know what I'm saying? I,
Yeah.
you only see that with Lynn Dawson. You only see that in NFL films or something. In the black and white
Oh,
when the damn field goal was in the front of the end zone and shit.
So
We can't.
talk,
We
talk.
can't get no love from these Raiders fans. I
Nah,
expect nothing different.
I ain't making a Raider fan. I'm being objective, man.
I'm just being objective.
I'm
Nah,
being objective, man.
so what do you
Hey, what you
guys?
talking about? I can't get you no love. I'm picking them to go.
So what do y'all think? What do y'all think about Terrell Kansas City picking up Terrell Suggs? Do you think it was because? Well, I know we lost Okafor. I know we lost him last week, but we picked up Terrell Suggs. Do you think that's because we're planning on facing Baltimore? They're thinking about playing Baltimore in the long run.
Gonna have some of John Harbaugh. Some of what's inside John Harbaugh's mind.
Yeah,
you got somebody
that's
to
what I'm
play.
getting at.
There's a you're gonna have to go through Baltimore. They're gonna be the number one seed. I don't see New England. I don't see any of the teams in the AFC beating Baltimore. Chiefs are the only team. Chiefs are the only team that can beat them. The only team in the NFL that can take out the Baltimore Ravens right now. I think they could do it. So, yeah, you get a guy. I think they know that it's gonna run through them. And you got a guy like Terrell Suggs. It definitely doesn't hurt, especially with the trash they got now.
I know.
I'm just talking shit. I don't refer to no. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean literally players are trash or anything like that. I don't call no human being trash. We just talking shit.
That deserved that Kevin Hart drop.
You know what I mean. It definitely can't hurt.
Yeah,
definitely can't hurt what they have right now. I think you're gonna
positive.
find a motivated Terrell Suggs. He ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be motivated. He's with a winning team, back in the playoffs. I mean, we saw what happened. You know what I'm saying, when James Harrison made his return. So hey man, I think you'll get some motivation. If anything, he'll bring that energy that they need.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
I agree with you. So that's it. We done.
No Kirk Cousins. You don't like that?
No,
like that.
I don't have faith in Kirk Cousins. I'll be honest with you. I don't have faith in Kirk Cousins. Stephon Diggs,
I don't know, man. Thielen come back, he makes him that much more dangerous.
Cash money, man.
That's if he comes back, though.
Cash money. Cash money.
Yeah.
They tough. They gonna be tough. They got that defense going. Man.
Shout out to their defense last week. Yeah.
Especially what's his name? Daniil. What's his last name?
Was it Robinson or something?
99, number 99.
Oh. Yeah, I know you talking about.
Killing them on the defensive line. He's emerged as a huge threat for him. You know what I'm saying? Just adding, to what they already have.
Hunter. Daniil
Hunter. Yep.
I agree. I think. Hey, I'm excited. Outside of Pittsburgh, even though I gotta give Tomlin his credit for he's helped that team overcome. I'm excited about the playoffs. I really think that this is one of those any given Sundays where a wild card might take it.
Yeah.
Just especially in the NFC, just based off the matchup. Now, maybe not the AFC, but the NFC definitely. If San Francisco stays at 5, I like the matchup issues that they present to teams. So we'll see what happens. We still got a couple weeks left to kind of figure out all the seeding. Because great, oddly enough, the way New England's playing, if Buffalo won out, New England loses. I think a game. I don't think New England has to lose out. I think they just have to lose this matchup to Buffalo. That if Buffalo won both games and New England loses this game, I think Buffalo actually wins the AFC East.
Oh wow!
Which would make it very interesting at that point. Very interesting at that point. I don't see it happening though.
Huh? We can't hear you. Your mic muted.
Yeah. What he said.
I just give you the gesture. It ain't gonna happen. That's all.
It ain't gonna happen. Okay.
Ah.
You shouldn't have told him his mic was muted. We just would have let him do that. I just would what he said.
We can't speak. We can't hear you. Sign language. I don't know how to say.
I got the message across, man. I got the message across. I just worry about them 40 highway chiefs, man. About the 40 highway chiefs, man.
He gonna go through all the damn street names in Kansas.
Go to the 40 highway, the Blue Ridge Chiefs over there, man.
Hey,
50-90
hey
truce.
man, hey, we need to go ahead and win so we can tell Andy Reid, man, we gonna go ahead and go with the enemy.
The enemy. Hold on.
Nah, I'm playing. I like Andy Reid. Just he needs to focus. He needs to focus on the whole team, not just the offense.
Yeah, I'm saying go ahead and get this championship for us. That's all we asking. I ain't had one in my lifetime, which we've spoken about before. But yeah, I would like a nice ring this year.
You might get it, man. Pat Mahomes do his thing. You might get it.
Shout out to Travis Kelce and all the Chiefs players.
Yeah, shout out to Trav, man.
Breaking records.
First tight end in NFL history with over 4 years, 4 years consecutive 1,000-yard receiving. That goes to show you the nature of the league. You know, as the league is evolving, somewhat of a passing league. Also, shout out to Drew Brees for breaking not only the touchdown record last night, but also breaking the consecutive passes without incompletions in a game. You know what I'm saying?
Passed up Peyton Manning.
Yeah, and still playing, So, you know, he'll keep just kind of padding his total until, you know, we'll see the longevity of Pat Mahomes, because if Pat Mahomes plays at this level, he'll shatter just about every record out there. He's already fastest to a lot of things so far, you know. So we'll see though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man.
What were you saying, Corey?
Oh, I think he's either on the phone or something else. I don't know what's going on. But but yeah, honestly, it's about to be a crazy year. It's about to be a crazy end of the year. I'll say that in the NFL. But fantasy wise, I'm in the playoffs. I'm in the finals, baby. I'm looking for that number one. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to grab this trophy this year. Trophy's gonna be mine.
Fantasy king.
Yeah, fantasy.
Fantasy king.
Oh yeah, trust and believe. When I win that trophy, I will show up with the trophy in my hand, and I'll show y'all. I'm like, the champ is here.
Next episode, you gonna show up with the trophy, huh?
The champ is here. Yeah, like I told everybody, the champ is here. All right, so yeah, man, this has been another episode of the Unofficial Referees. Did y'all want to talk about the people that got snubbed, or the people that got pulled in for the Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl snubs. Nah, we'll save it for another day.
Stash it for later. All right, cool. Well, with all that being said, man, this is your boy Randy Anderson. Both of my co-hosts in the building, Lauren and also Corey. What we need you guys to do is don't forget the links in the description below, man. Unofficial Referees, the YouTube page, the Three Pyramids YouTube page, Grit Sports Media for all your sports needs. Lojo Speaks, man. With all that being said, see y'all next week. We out. Peace.